Hello everyone, I have a special treat for you today. Instead of a review or a rant, I was lucky enough to get Miss D.L. Warner to answer a few questions for me. D.L. Warner is the author of the novel Demon Under Glass and co-writer of the film Demon Under Glass, which she shares credit with her husband, John Cunningham, in writing. The film and novel Demon Under Glass tell the story of a vampire who ends up in government captivity and befriends one of the doctors holding him. It becomes a very interesting and intelligently written story. Demon Under Glass recently was taken to be adapted into an ongoing web series with one of the same actors as the movie. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this little special, and thank you to D.L. Warner for doing this for me. I truly appreciate it.
What, in my own words, in a nutshell, is the basic plot of Demon Under Glass? Demon Under Glass basically is what happens to scientists when they are given the opportunity to study something that is different from normal life. Will they become just as bad as the monster they're studying in trying to get a smarter vampire movie where the people involved with the vampire wouldn't do stupid things to endanger themselves? That yes, the vampire would be dangerous and ultimately a threat to anybody near him, but they wouldn't do blatantly stupid things. The other reason was we wanted to write something for Jason David Frank to get him away from his Power Ranger image. How long did it take to make the movie Demon Under Glass? Well, that goes hand in hand with writing it for Jason. The concept came up in October, or November actually, and we were ready to shoot by January, mainly because the elements that Jason was able to put into play for us, like locations and personnel, were only available after Christmas, but before filming started on TV and film stuff in February. So it took us 18 days to shoot straight through, and long days, many pages per day, which I don't recommend doing, but that's how the time constraints we had for Demon Under Glass. What was it like to work with Jason Carter and Garrett Maggart? Jason was kind of funny. He got into character shortly after he got into makeup and wardrobe and stayed that way. So on days when Simon was feeling rather homicidal, it could get interesting asking him what he wanted for lunch or if he needed more coffee. He's really, really intense. Garrett could turn Joe on and off like a faucet, so he was basically Garrett all day, which is an extremely entertaining thing to have on a set. They were both delightful to work with, and they were both very good at improving. The ending was rewritten in part with their help because they wanted to go with the chemistry of the characters, and thus, the line, "we will have some fun," came from that. So yeah, I liked working with them, and I'd love to work with them both again. How different was it to write the novel for Demon Under Glass than the movie? Very different. Although I had scripts for both halves of the book, it's much easier to write fiction because you're not writing in committee. You don't have to worry about budgets, and you don't have to worry about how you're going to shoot the thing. You can just let the fiction have what it needs. John likes some of the stuff I put in the book, and he plans to use it in flashbacks when we do the web series. How long did it take to write the novel? Not very long, because again, we had the scripts already as a framework, so I think it maybe took me about 4 weeks, where normally it would take about 4 or 5 months to write a book. Who is my favorite vampire author? Well, hands down, it's Anne Rice. Interview with a Vampire was a very powerful book, and a powerful influence on me. The characters were so well drawn. The grief that was woven throughout it was just hard to ignore. They resonate with me to this day. Do you think that any book, film, or show may have influenced Demon Under Glass? Well, sure. Definitely didn't want to do many of the things I saw in movies and some books. I'm not going to name names. I get in enough trouble as it is. But mainly we wanted to stay away from the Walking Dead sort of thing. The biggest thing we wanted to do differently was make vampirism not something that came from dying. It came from being changed at a cellular level, but not from dying. And that was because of the things that I'd read or seen in other vampire genre. Where can people buy the novel for Demon Under Glass? You can go to sidpress.com and there are links, or you can go directly to Amazon or barnesandnoble.com and you can find the books there. On Amazon it's also available. That and Demon Spawn on the Run are available now as Kindle books as well. People can watch Demon Under Glass on dragontv.com. That's DRAGGON TV.com. Since we got the license back from the distributor, we decided to let it roam free on the internet. What is Dragon TV? Dragon TV is a site we are giving a forum to independent filmmakers, makers of film shorts and web series producers to run their stuff at full length, no matter the length, and at full resolution to try to find an audience. Ultimately, we hope to hook them up with bigger distribution deals. Oftentimes, it's hard to get in to see distributors, even if you're at film markets or film conventions, if you don't have a big star in it or you don't have a following. So we're hoping that by giving the space to these filmmakers where they're not truncated by time or bandwidth, that they can find an audience and hopefully find distribution. The web address again is Dragon TV, DRAGGON TV.com. What will the Demon Under Glass web series be about? Well, it's sort of X-Files meets The Fugitive with a little of the Odd Couple thrown in. Simon and Joe go on the run to the various universities and research facilities that have Delphi project materials in the hopes to getting enough evidence to take it to the press and expose it without exposing Simon and thus discredit it to the public and hopefully stop people from chasing them. Along the way, they'll encounter people who need help, either with crimes of a regular human nature, or they'll run into paranormal things that they have to fight to help other people. And along the way, we get to enjoy their personalities together. Who is the new actor playing Simon Molinar, and what is he like? His name is Owen Zabo. He's a young man from Boston, Massachusetts, very talented young actor. We liked his innocent face and reading of the lines of this very homicidal and ancient vampire. We think he's got a good chemistry with Garrett, and we think they'll be a fine match. I've mentioned that Simon Molinar likes to cook even though he doesn't eat. What is his favorite dish to prepare? Simon likes to make omelets. He's gotten really good at them. That's one of the few dishes he's had a lot of opinions back on how he does, so that's what he likes to make. Out of my original characters, who is your favorite to write for? Do I relate to Joe McKay in any way? I actually like to write for Joe the most because he's got the most potential for the unexpected. He's being thrown into situations he never could imagine being thrown into, and he gets to test his mettle a lot, so he's a lot of fun to write for. Yeah, I do identify with him in some ways. I was thrown into a crazy situation living in LA, and I've had to live by my wits, so I kind of understand him. Is Simon Molinart a fun character to write for? Why, yes, he is, because he gets to do whatever he wants to do, and that kind of character is always a lot of fun to be around. It's especially fun seeing him try to temper himself in order to keep Jo close to him, so that's a challenge. How do I feel about vampire fiction in general? It's a genre that I can see people coming back to over and over again because it's an issue of how does somebody fit in when they're really different from the norm. There's the issue of how a person who's seen so much functions in modern times. So I understand the fascination. I do think a lot of goofy things are done with the genre, though, and even more goofy stuff than usual lately with the Twilight Saga, but that's all I'll say about that. Do you ever plan on writing other preternatural creatures besides vampires and altered humans? I can't say I never will. I wasn't really ever planning on writing vampires, so I just sort of fell into it. I know I will never write zombies because that's taking the Living Dead thing way too far. But no, I don't know. Kind of like looking at elves and other things like that, so maybe. When will we be able to watch the Demon Under Glass series? If everything goes according to plan, and we know how plans go in the entertainment industry, but we plan to start airing them in February of 2011. Thank you very much for the interview, and have a great day.